let's touch the aspect of student loan.
Yes.
This government is proposing to start supporting students with some amount to help them navigate through school.
Yes.
Is it a welcome development?
Students' loan to pursue academics, it has its own advantage and it also has disadvantage. It all depends on the level, the atmosphere, the ambience the government has created for it. But one of the problems is that many of these schemes and programs of government, they politicize it, they give it to those that are around them. It does not go to the target audience. It does not go to the people that really need this facility to emerge academically and in terms of entrepreneurship. That is one of the problems. But if government is sincere enough with all that they are doing, I tell you, Nigeria will be great. Without government sincerity, so it's not a welcome development. If government is sincere about it and they don't politicize it, you know, politicizing it, giving it to their party members, you know, those that are loyal to them. That is, once you are a governor or a president, you are not your political party governor or your political party president. You are the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So all political parties, you are their president. So whatever you make provision for your own party, let there be equitable distribution of those resources, because the resources we are talking about is not your party's resources. It is God's given resources for us all. You know, the crude we sell, the raw material we sell to get those reserves, those foreign exchange, it is not your making. It is God's provision. So let it be equitably distributed. You know, we have seized geopolitical zone. So, you know, with the population and the number of states in each zone, let there be equitable distribution.
Okay, now, with your experience in shoemaking,
yes,
you've actually made this one you're wearing. I'm very sure, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, right.
And of course, some of the things we wear, you
yes,
produce most of them.
Yes.
How can you assess skill acquisition in the country? Where are we now? Where are we going to? And how far do you foresee it in the next 10 years?
You see, our embracing entrepreneurship is like we are constrained to. It's not like in a developed setting when you see it as a necessity, because we have no other alternative now. That is why we are forced to embrace skill acquisition.
So we are not progressing?
We've not been doing well. If not now that the JAPA, you know, ability or the means to travel at is really not there. You know, we would have seen many people, even there are some people that are doing well, who've been able to sell their father's house, you know, they run away, and only to find out hindrance here and there, they come back and fall back to nothing. But what am I saying is that if we've been taught to embrace skill acquisition from Credo, we would have not been having all these challenges. It is because now it's not a necessity. We do not have any exit route. Then it's not we are now constraining ourselves, you know, to embrace skill acquisition. But all the same, NUC, Nigerian University Commission, and MBT for Polytechnic, they've made it compulsory now that every student in their penultimate year, you must embrace skill acquisition. And if they've just put those programs in place without stringent measure, you would have seen many of the students not embracing it. Because even now, a week to closing the semester, you still see somebody dragging food to want to register. What has been on ground for
they are
2
not taking
months,
it serious.
they are not taking it serious. But because it is a prerequisite for graduating, without which you can't graduate, they are now forced to do it.
If these stiff measures were not in place,
You're not there,
you won't see them.
You won't see them embrace it. So what we are saying is that it is the way to go. You talked about China, Canada, Japan, Singapore, all those some Asian countries, then come to even Europe before now. It is this skill acquisition. When they come here, we protect them, we celebrate them, we call them expatriates, we guide them with our soldiers. But it is technical school they attended over there. Let us stimulate, equip our technical colleges, polytechnic, universities, laboratories. Let us equip them. We have the human capital. We have brains here. The immediate past president of World Medical is a Nigerian, is an Edo man.
Dr.
The Director General World Trade Organization is not a Nigerian. We have brains in Nigeria. Let us equip ourselves with the necessary skill, enabling environment. We have the capacity to take care of Africa.
Apart from their inability to take this skill with all heart, do you think there are other challenges that young people face when acquiring skills?
Youth exuberance, youth delinquencies. These are because there is no figure, there is no image, public image they look up to. You know, the people we celebrate out there, they are the people that have, through hooliganism, through, you know, those evil measures, get their wealth, we celebrate them. In abroad, it's not so. Your means of financial acquisition will be questioned. How did you make your money? You've been in one room before venturing into politics. Within 4 years, you are now commanding a state with fleet of cars. How did you make the money? Politics has become a thriving business now that people will need to relocate from abroad to come and run for elective position. It's supposed not to be so. Elective position is a means to serve the public.
Okay.
So what I'm saying in essence is that let us embrace entrepreneurship not as a necessity that we are now constrained to, but as a necessity because it is the way to go to develop our economy, develop our raw materials, add value to them to become finished goods, not just exporting our raw materials as God has blessed us with. Let us add value to them. You know, that is the hallmark of entrepreneurship, creating value by pulling a unique package of resources or factors, as you mentioned earlier, you know, pull them together to form a product or to render a service, you know, that somebody will be willing to pay, whether at the local market or at the international market where you need to get foreign earnings, increase your foreign reserve, then you take your pride of praise in the community of nations.
Talking about foreign earning, to an extent, do you think that we should start embracing foreign support to boost our local business?
As it is now, even Ghana here, you know, at the time they had economic challenge, you know, they locked all their borders. You know, those politicians that have made mess of them, they dealt with them. You know, even China, at the time, you lock yourself. You don't need foreign support as it is now. Look inward, believe in yourself, believe in your raw material, believe in your human capital, believe on things around you. The kind of foreign support, let it come as though they are coming to do business, not you being a burden on them. Yes, let us not be dependent on, do you know what it is for you to have balance of payment deficit?
So we should not,
as a double grant to other nations.
We should not embrace international sport.
Not that it's not going, we are not going to be part of it with time.
Okay.
But let us not be dependent on it.
So as a business owner now, if an international body is coming to partner with you with good sum,
I will welcome it.
Let's say $1 million.
No, not that I will not welcome, but what I'm saying is that let them believe in my, you know, there's kind of partnership you go to, you know, by the time the resources starts to yield, it's as though you have no say. You just be answering sa to them. It's supposed not to be so. Let there be equitable distribution or even equity financing. You bring your share, I bring my share. So when there is return on investment, you know how those shares should be shared. Not just that you are. If we don't take time, if Nigeria don't take time with the way we are going in borrowing and depending on that nation, a time will come, the white man will come and sack us from here. And I pray that doesn't happen.
We will get to that stage.
You understand? But so what I'm saying in essence is that let us look inward. If the white man or other nationals are coming to do business with us, let them respect us for who we are.
Okay, talking about looking inwards now.
Yes.
Are there success stories recorded as far as skill acquisition is concerned in the country? Are there
yes,
success
stories? It is so much success story, but not at the level where we intend it.
Okay.
So more needs to be done. You understand? There's so much success story. Long before now, there are people who just believe if it's not a foreign shoe, it cannot be original one. To the point now that we even now make those products, we even sell abroad. We have others from other countries presently. Others from other countries, we have you know, high-profile dignitaries that are now relying on our product. But before now, we just believe if it's not made in Italy, made in other countries, cannot be the original. So let us look inward, believe in ourselves. We'll get over those things.
So if we are looking inward, definitely there must be pocket of challenges.
Yes.
How can we arrest all these challenges?
Many of these challenges, like we talk about the issue of security, you know, I told you we cannot leave agriculture out of it.
You said so.
Going into agriculture now, you know the challenges, banditry, kidnapping, even in the farm. And even the agriculture we are talking about now, even at this level that insecurity is a bewilderment, is still not commercial enough. When I mean commercial, we need to commercialize the process, bring in tractors, machines, you know, to automate the process so that you can make tons of these commodities, you know, in a day, produce them, not at this subsistence level, and even at this level, you will hear of kidnapping here and there and all of that. So government should provide the enabling environment, create an enabling environment as to security, then come to the power sector so that when we produce these things, we are able to preserve them. These are the challenges. You understand?
Okay.
Look at automating the process of our industrializing many of our key sectors. Without power to power those machines, how can you run?
So we cannot start embracing technology if power is not in place.
You cannot. Even your phone, your tablet, your laptop, without powering them, how can you operate it? So we need electricity, and the most painful part of things in it is that the increase, they see consistent increase in tariff, and yet the service is not there. So these are.
So let's quickly look at the long-term benefit of having a skill.
Yes, it makes you, you know, have self-confidence. You know, if you are a salary earner without other stream of income, and with the way things, cost of goods and services are increasing now, you know that your salary can't take care of your expenses, your expenditure. So, but by the time you are an entrepreneur, a skill owner, you know, as price of goods and services are going on, you also increase the price of those products you are offering, those services you are rendering, you know, that you virtually have no loss. So that is how it is. It gives you self-confidence, and you flow with the economic ties. You are not stuck. So that I will also encourage those that are salary earner, whether you are a civil servant or you work with a private firm, you know, invest in yourself, invest in human capital development in yourself, you know, to boost your stream of income, because one source of income now is not enough to take care of an average Nigerian the way we are seeing it now.
Okay, let's begin to put a final touch to this. Advice to younger generations.
Yes.
What's your advice to them? The
advice is, let us embrace what the Lord has blessed us with. Don't just look at somebody driving on Lexus Jeep and you are carried away. Or somebody will tell a lady, say, just one night, you have 300,000, you have 1 million and all of that. You know, you don't know the exchange you are giving for just that one night. The value, the destiny value you are exchanging for those financial gains, you cannot quantify it. So the way forward is embrace in entrepreneurship, embrace skill acquisition, to invest in yourself so that you have a stream of income that is not ending in one night, or that will just come in one night and will just cease in one night. You know, entrepreneurship will give you a stream of income for life. It will come, the more you look inward, the more spring of income will be generating. Okay. That is how it is. So for our young men, young women out there, embrace entrepreneurship. Okay. Embrace, you know, what NUC is doing for undergraduate and MBT, they are not just doing it for you to pass your course or become a graduate and all of that, but for you to be able to create job, to become enterprising.
So they shouldn't see it as a necessity.
As a necessity to pass the course. No. Okay. See it as opportunity to invest in yourself.
I've been to your workplace.
Yes.
They are doing fine. Some of them.
Yes.
We've seen some of the product they have.
Exactly.
They are doing fine.
Yes.
You think government can, at this point, start supporting them financially?
And that is why let me also salute the Honorable Commissioner Digital Economy. He made some donation to us.
Okay.
You understand? And to support the youth. And what he told the student that day was that commissioner like he is and every other commissioner, he said they are 18, that he will be willing to make them buy their products if they are able to do it well, standardize it and all of that. And it is heartwarming, you know, to know that there are high-profile dignitaries, politicians, who will be willing to wear your product, locally made product. If so be you do them well.
Okay.
And that is how it is.
Ambassador Matthew, it's always a delight to have you,
Thank you, sir,
here in the studio. Considering the economic challenges,
yes,
what are the selling skills in the job market now?
What it is now, it still boils down to what I mentioned earlier, the subsistence, you know, just for you to take care of your pressing need, what you need to eat, what you need to put on, you understand? And that has to do with, you know, what people consume day to day, like the catering department, those in the tailoring industry, you must clothe yourself. Even the leather industry, you must put on shoe. You understand? So those are the things that are selling. But when we now take it further to the secondary and tertiary occupation, where you need to produce raw materials for the industry, you know, to provide what the industry need to thrive, to manufacture goods and services in the developmental sector, not just for consumption now, so that you can preserve the legacy for the next generation. Talk about the iron and steel industry, you know, talk about the automobile industry, you know, those are the more advanced, not just for the immediate consumption, you know, to leave a legacy, you know, that Nigeria is a manufacturer of this. When you see certain goods, they put them made in Nigeria. You know, but what you consume, what you like farming for consumption and for persistent purpose, you do not even brand those things. Like the bread you eat now, you never bother to say put made in Nigeria. You want to export, except maybe those that are doing it on a larger scale.
But we seem not to believe in our own product.
See, that is the perception.
Don't you think it's a major product?
See, it's the perception we need to change. We need to do away with those perceptions that when it is made in Nigeria, it is substandard. That is the mentality. Do you know that the developed country, the white man, they are jealous of products from Nigeria? If not for mismanagement or no lack of standards, let me put it that way, standard that when you do something that is good now, you don't sustain it over time.
Yeah.
And because people are demanding it over and over, you know, you want to use what would have made 1 unit to make 2 or 3 units. Then even the government is not there to regulate the standard. Those are the problem.
But we have government regulatory agencies. We have agencies that regulate some of this stuff.
Look at the cable industry, the wire and all that. Do you know that Nigeria is one of the best? This PVC, the Nigeria PVC ceiling is one of the best in the world. But we need government to regulate so that when those people that are bad, I don't know what to qualify now, as the people that want to change the process, when they want to come in, you know, the government will be there to raise the arm of the law on them. You understand? We need to sustain what the natural resources God has blessed us with in Nigeria, in all ramifications. You know, if we're able to utilize them optimally, not just for subsistence purpose or for consumption purpose, optimally, to standardize the process, get foreign earnings on all of them, we don't need to borrow. If we rely on our raw materials, you know, add value to them to finish goods, we don't need to borrow.
Okay, let's go back to the issue of dollar that you actually made mention of in your opening statement.
Yes.
Should our market depend on foreign currency?
You see, no nation on earth is an island of its own. God has blessed us so much, but we cannot live in isolation. We still need countries around in West Africa, sub-region, continents of Africa, and other nations to do exchange, whether at the raw material level or at the finished goods. There are so many things, even in human capital development, you know, those, the expatriate and all of that. We need exchange of ideas, you know, across nations. So we cannot stay, but the fact that we are now so dependent on other nations, both for human resource and the raw material, even the raw material we have, we are giving the franchise to other nations to come and preside over us. That is what is not proper. That is what is not ideal at all. We need to add value to our raw material so that when we are making exchange at the international level, at the international community, let it be a win-win. So that when they are benefiting from us, we are also benefiting from them. The fact that we are not solely dependent to be benefiting from other nations and just folding our hands, you know, we want to take vacation, we go to other nations, we want to develop anything, even down to toothpick. We were told the other day that they've lifted ban on imported this thing, even down to toothpick. What is Nigeria making? You see this bamboo stick, you know, they are the raw materials for making toothpick. We have a lot of...
And we export these raw materials outside.
You understand? We need to add value
and
to them.
Pay to get them back.
Over the time I've been in the leather industry, before now, it was derogatory when you say I'm a shoemaker. Even till now, people will scorn and make all sort of ridicule. But you need to see the level the Lord has taken us to and dedication too. You know, God has blessed us, every person. God has imparted so much in us, but without dedication, Bible says, "See thou a man diligent in his duties, he shall not stand before me, he shall stand before king."
So is the government doing enough to support business owners?
As it is now, they are not doing enough. And even the one they are doing, let there be transparency. We were just told now that they have given bags of fertilizer to farmer at about, when you break down the cost, it's about 40-something to 50-something thousand per bag. But in the real market, it's about 15,000, it's not up to 20,000. So who is now doing all of those padding? Padding of fertilizer, not even padding of budget.
Who is benefiting from the excess,
and even when
amount?
it comes, even when it comes, they don't target the real farmers. They politicize the whole issue. That those that would have made optimal use and impact of those raw materials, of those resources, they don't even get it. You know, they are still depending on labor-intensive tools to farm. How can you feed the nation? How can you cultivate an hectare of land with cutlass and hoes when you need to employ tractors and all those mechanized, automated system of farming? So let government be transparent, even in the one they are doing. Though they are not doing enough, let them be transparent. So that the little they are making impact of now, we can make optimal utility of them.
If you go to other countries,
yes.
You find out from primary school, children are being taught how to get one skill or the other.
Yes.
In China, for instance,
yes.
you see them teaching their children
yes.
technology from primary school.
Yes.
But here, reverse is the case.
You know, Nigeria had this system of technical education long before now. But when this civil service and white-collar job came in, you know, the perception was that once you are a graduate with your certificate, you will come and lord over polytechnic student, technical student, and all of that. But over the years, the change, the reverse is not the case, that even with your certificate as a graduate, as a master degree holder, PhD degree holder, without product and service, you need to beg from those that went to technical school, who is producing one product or the other for sustenance and making impact. You understand? It will interest you that the money a provision store woman is making, some professors are not making it. But what do I mean by that? Going to school is very, very important, as in to know the endowment around you. You understand? But you need to have a product or render a service with which you can have sufficiency, financial leverage and all of that. You understand? So what do I mean? What I'm saying in essence is that now that we know that without having a product to offer or service to render, you know, you need to beg to eat. Then you now need to incorporate, you know, technical education in our academic system. And that is why you see Nigeria University Commission since 2006 has now made it compulsory that even when you are an undergraduate, in your penultimate year, 300 level or 400 level, as the case may be, you must have entrepreneurship skill. So that before you graduate, you must learn 1 or 2 skills. Whether you get white-collar job or not, you should be able to create one and improve your employability skill. So that is what it is. So now, even in NYSC camp, they are taught skill. You understand? That you don't need to go to polytechnic to learn hands-on skill or practical skill, or strictly go to technical colleges.
So during orientation camp?
Even in the orientation camp, and during the academic pursuit, especially in your 300 level, you must learn a skill. So it's as compulsory as that even without having it, you can't graduate.
So how can we start deploying these skills to support our ailing economy?
The way to deploy these skills is that let us encourage the undergraduates. As soon as they are coming out, they should get grants from government. There should be access to raw material. In the area they have been taught, the skill area they've been taught, they should have access to credit facility, you know, at a subsidized rate, not mind-blowing interest and all of that. You understand? They should be given the enabling environment, you know, enacted policies for maybe free or subsidized registration of business name and all of that, so that they can enter into the productivity market, produce what we need as a nation to consume, then standardize them for export. In this way, in less than 2-3 years, it will surprise you what will make out of the Nigeria economy.